Dear students, currently we are in session number 19 of Unit 2nd Modern Bank Management of 3rd Sem BCom of Mangalore University. The topic for the today's session is Negotiable Instruments, Meaning and Features. The learning objective of this session is to understand the meaning of negotiable instruments, the features of negotiable instruments, and the types of negotiable instruments. By the end of these sessions, the students will be able to answer the meaning of negotiable instruments, characteristics, and different types of negotiable instruments. In the world of business and finance, negotiable instruments are a very important tool. They provide the parties with an ease of doing business, and they can also be a source of finance when in need of funds. Let us learn about negotiable instruments and their advantages. What do you mean by a negotiable instrument? A negotiable instrument is a signed document that promises a sum of payment to a specified person or the assignee. A transferable signed document that promises to pay the bearer a sum of money at a future date or on demand. The payee, who is the person receiving the payment, must be named or otherwise indicated on the instrument. Because they are transferable and assignable, some negotiable instruments may trade on a secondary market. A negotiable instrument is a signed document that promises a sum of payment to a specified person or the assignee. Negotiable instruments are transferable in nature, allowing the holder to take the funds as cash or use them in a manner appropriate for the transaction or according to their preference. Common examples of negotiable instruments include promissory notes, bills of exchange, and personal checks. A negotiable instrument is actually a written document. This document specifies payment to a specific person or the bearer of the instrument at a specific date. So, we can define a bill of exchange as a document signifying an unconditional promise signed by the person giving the promise, requiring the person to whom it is addressed to pay on demand or at a fixed date or time. Therefore, a negotiable instrument is a commercial document which specifies a specific amount to a specific person on a specific day. Therefore, it is like an unconditional promise signed by the person giving the promise to pay a particular amount to whom it is addressed to pay on demand or at a fixed date or time. Normal meaning of negotiable instrument. It is an instrument which is transferable by customs of trade, by delivery like cash, and is also capable of being sued upon by the person holding it for time being. The property in such an instrument passes to a bona fide transferee for value. Negotiable instruments are transferable in nature, allowing the holder to take the funds as cash or use them in a manner appropriate for the transaction or according to their preference. The fund amount listed on the document includes a notation as to the specific amount promised and must be paid in full either on demand or at a specified date. A negotiable instrument can be transferred from one person to another. Once the instrument is transferred, the holder obtains a full legal title to the instrument. These documents provide no other promise on the part of the entity issuing the negotiable instrument. Additionally, no other instructions or conditions can be set upon the bearer to receive the monetary amount listed on the negotiable instrument. For an instrument to be negotiable, it must be signed with a mark or signature by the maker of the instrument, the one issuing the draft. This entity or person is known as the drawer of funds. The term negotiable refers to the fact that the note in question can be transferred or assigned to another party. Non-negotiable describes one that is firmly established and cannot be adjusted or amended. Definition under the Negotiable Instruments Act 1881. The Negotiable Instrument Act was enacted in India in 1881. Prior to its enactment, the provision of the English Negotiable Instrument Act were applicable in India, and the present Act is also based on the English Act with certain modifications. It extends to the whole of India except the state of Jammu and Kashmir. The Act operates subject to the provisions of Sections 31 and 32 of Reserve Bank of India Act 1934. Section 31 of the Reserve Bank of India Act provides that no person in India other than bank or as expressly authorized by this Act, the central government shall draw, accept, make or issue any bill of exchange, hundi, promissory note or engagement for the payment of 3 money payable to the bearer on demand. This section further provides that no one except the RBI or the central government can make or issue a promissory note expressed to be payable or demand or after a certain time. Section 32 of the Reserve Bank of India Act makes issue of such bills or notes punishable with fine which may extend to the amount of the instrument. The effect or the consequences of these provisions are a promissory note cannot be made payable to the bearer no matter whether it is payable on demand after a certain time. A bill of exchange cannot be made payable to the bearer on demand though it can be made payable to the bearer after a certain time. But a check payable to bearer or demand can be drawn on person's account with a banker. Section 13 of the Negotiable Instruments Act 1881 doesn't define a negotiable instrument, although it mentions only 3 kinds of negotiable instruments, namely bills, notes and checks. But it does not necessarily follow that there can be no other negotiable instruments than those enumerated in the Act. This Act was enacted in the year 1881. It specifies 3 types of negotiable instruments: bills, promissory notes and checks. But after certain amendments to the Act made, several other documents are also considered as negotiable instruments. But this Act doesn't define a negotiable instrument in a clear manner. Characteristics of negotiable instruments: easily transferable. The term negotiable in a negotiable instrument refers to the fact that they are transferable to different parties. If it is transferred, the new holder obtains the full legal title to it. Second one must be in writing. Negotiable instruments must be written document. It is written by a particular individual in the name of another individual to pay a certain amount on a future date. Time of payment must be certain. In Negotiable Instrument Act, the time of payment is clearly defined in the sense that the negotiable instrument considers the time of payment or the date of payment or the future date. Payee also must be certain. The negotiable instrument must include the name of the payee. The name of the payee should be clearly defined and the sum of payment to be made to a particular individual whose name is entered in the negotiable instrument is known as payee. There are 4 characteristics of negotiable instruments: easily transferable, must be in writing, time of payment must be certain, payee also be certain. Types of negotiable instruments. There are various types of negotiable instruments as defined by the Negotiable Instrument Act of India in 1881. First one, promissory note. Section 4 of the Negotiable Instrument Act of 1881 defines a promissory note is an instrument in writing containing an unconditional undertaking signed by the maker to pay a certain sum of money to or to the order of a certain person or to the bearer of the instruments. Essential elements. An instrument to be a promissory note must possess the following elements. First one, it must be in writing. A mere verbal promise to pay is not a promissory note. The method of writing, either in ink or pencil or printing and so on, is unimportant, but it must be in any form that cannot be altered easily. Second one, it must certainly and express promise or clear understanding to pay. There must be an express undertaking to pay. A mere acknowledgement is not enough. In this case, the debtor is the one who makes the payment and he promises unconditionally to the creditor or the bearer of the document a certain sum of money on a specific date. Second one, bills of exchange. Section 5 of the Act defines a bill of exchange is an instrument in writing containing an unconditional order signed by the maker directing a certain person to pay a certain sum of money only to or to the order of a certain person or to the bearer of the instrument. A bill of exchange, therefore, is a written acknowledgement of the debt written by the creditor and accepted by the debtor. There are usually three parties to a bill of exchange: drawer, acceptor or the drawee, and the payee. Drawer himself may be the payee. Essential conditions of a bill of exchange are: first one, it must be in writing. Second one, it must be signed by the drawer. Third one, the drawer, drawee and payee must be certain. Fourth one, the sum payable must also be certain. Fifth one, it should be properly stamped. Last one, it must contain an express order to pay money or money alone. Therefore, bills of exchange refers to a legally binding written document which instructs a party to pay a predetermined sum of money to the second party. Some of the bills might state that money is due on a specified date in the future, or they might state the payment is due on demand. This is an order from the creditor to the debtor. This instrument instructs the drawee or the debtor to pay the payee a certain amount of money. The bill will be made by the drawer. Third one, check. Section 6 of the Act defines: a check is a bill of exchange drawn on a specified banker and not expressed to be payable otherwise than on demand. A check is bill of exchange with two more qualifications, namely, it is always drawn on a specified banker. Second one, it is always payable on demand. Consequently, all check are bill of exchange, but all bills are not check. A check must satisfy all the requirements of a bill of exchange, that is, it must be signed by the drawer, must contain an unconditional order on a specified banker to pay a certain sum of money to or to the order of a certain person or to the bearer of the check. It does not require acceptance. A check refers to an instrument in writing which contains an unconditional order addressed to a banker and is signed by a person who has deposited his money with the banker. This order requires the banker to pay a certain sum of money on demand only to the bearer of the check or to any other person who is specifically to be paid as per instructions given. Checks could be a good way of paying different kinds of bills, although the usage of check is declining over the years due to online banking. Individuals still use checks for paying for loans, college fees, car EMIs, etc. Checks are also a good way of keeping track of all the transactions on the paper. On the other side, checks are comparatively a slow method of payment and might take some time to be processed. Therefore, negotiable instruments are commercial documents. They are transferable in nature, allowing the holder to take the funds as cash or use them in a manner appropriate for the transaction. It creates a right in favor of some person and which is freely transferable. Although the Act mentions only 3 instruments such as promissory note, bills of exchange and check, which can be used as negotiable instrument. Thank you for patient hearing.